What's going on, YouTube? Chris here. Want to bring you all an update today of Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and Digibyte. Those are the four we're going to be going over today. What I want to talk about for Bitcoin today is the fact, are we topping out? Is this going to be a top over here, just like we had back here when we hit that $14,000 and we topped out and then we started that downtrend? You can see over here when we got down to around 6,400, we had that inverted head and shoulders. We made it back up to about $10,500, $10,600. And now what we're looking to see if this area here at 9,500 was our top. Was that just another lower high? Because what you can see from this 14,000, this is our high here. Then we had a lower high at 10,500 or so. And then we're having this area of around 9,500. What we're trying to determine is this just a lower high? Was this all just a reaction out of here? Or are we going to go back up and challenge that $10,500 to see if we can actually break through it? Because that's what we need to do. In the macro sense, we need a higher high. We still have not gotten a higher high in the macro sense. That's definitely something I'm going to be paying attention to. And what I was looking at here, guys, and why I took my profits on this beautiful candle here. I ended up taking profits on Bitcoin. I did a small little Bitcoin trade, and I also did a Litecoin trade, but I ended up taking my profits in Bitcoin at around $9,100. And the reason why I did that, I saw this long leg doji here. This is a very nasty candle. The upper wick's even longer, so that's even more bearish here. And it also came on extremely heavy volume after a very long white candle. When you see that, a lot of times you see that long white candle, and then you see a doji or a hanging man after that, that potentially could show you that you are at that top. And what we're dealing with here is that long leg doji. Then we almost have a shooting star here. The wick may not be as long enough, but pretty close to a shooting star candle. And then we have a short day candle. Then we have another doji up here. So there's a lot of fight in this area. And for me, the bulls need to hold, and this is on the 1 day time frame, need to hold 8,475. So yet again, we're going to say that $8,500. This was our previous area over here. And that's where we're going to need to hold for support. If we don't hold that area, I would look down to that 200 moving average, and that's going to be at $7,993. We're going to call it $8,000. That's going to be the area that I'm looking at, because a lot of times when you break through the 200, you'll actually back test it a lot of times. Okay, so that's common. And what you can see here, though, is we're still in an intermediate term uptrend, guys. Say you're in a position right now and you've been holding for all this time. This is an area where I say, hey, you need to sell out and everything. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm a short-term trader and a swing trader. I'm not a hodler. So that's a whole different story. For me, I'm waiting for my next great buying opportunity, and I haven't seen it yet. You can see all this indecision up here at key overhead resistance areas. But in terms of our volatility stop on the 1 day, say you're still long, they have a stop at $8,057 would be the area. And if we take a look at this, guys, and we're looking at some indicators here, I want to do this along with the 1 day, because we haven't looked at the 1 day in a while. We've been looking at that 4-hour time frame. So we're going to get into our stock RSI. Stock RSI is at 87 and 90 right now. And that's also correlating here with all these indecision candles right up in this area, or potential reversal candles here. So you can see we do need to cool off on the stock RSI. And a lot of times when you have this move and you see a doji up here, you see this even right here, had a doji. We were in overextended territory here. We started to move to the downside. We ended up going from about $7,000 down to $6,000 in this move. So that's what I'm saying. It would not be uncommon for us to even come back here and back test this 200-day moving average, given where some of the indicators are. The next indicator I wanted to look at was our awesome oscillator as well. That one there is positive into the green, but you see we're starting to lose just a little bit of momentum here at the top. So that's one to pay attention to. And then we'll take a look at our relative strength index. Relative strength index is at 68. So we're almost in that overbought territory as well. You can see we're starting to lose a little bit of steam here, and it's also correlating with all these candles. So for me, guys, I'm not in a position right now because I'm waiting for even more of a retracement or a cool down. If it doesn't come and we get another blast up through here, you know, guys, and we get above that $10,500, then I could definitely look for an opportunity, because we could start moving higher. Then, you know, we could get into the $11,000 range, then it could be up to the $12,000 range, and I'll reevaluate things. But right now, for me, I'm a conservative trader. This is not what I want to see here on heavier volume, with a lot of the indicators starting to point down and also volume tailing off. And something you'll notice on the 4-hour time frame for Bitcoin that I wanted to show you here. This is something I always pay attention to. So do you see the impulse waves right now for the volume? They're heavier to the downside. So these downside moves are coming on more volume than our reaction that we're having is less volume. And when you have that, that's showing a clear downtrend. You can see this volatility stop here on the 4-hour is in a downtrend. They're saying basically the trend is down here in the short term, and the volatility stop would be at 9,070 if you were shorting Bitcoin. But what we're going to have to see is what this reaction does. This reaction needs to get us up above 8,914, then it'd be up around that $9,000. Those are the areas I'm going to look at, but that's what I like to pay attention to. You see here, we dropped, it came on heavier volume, right? We pumped back up and even got up above that, but take a look at this volume. So that shows clearly that we're in that downtrend now, and you could even draw a trend line on top of this. So that's where Bitcoin needs to get moving here, and we need to defend this $8,500 territory, which would also correlate with this 50 moving average. But for me, guys, this is a sticky situation. I don't want to be in this situation now. I'm glad I took my profits. I know a lot of people took their profits on a beautiful move like this, guys, and when it's staring you in the face, that's what I've talked to you about. You need to take your profits. Take a look at this here. If we end up going into our price range, so from the top area here to where we're at right now, that's 8%. That's a big move, and that's what you want to save yourself when you see these things. Remember right here, climax volume, see that? Extremely long white candle into a long leg doji on heavier volume, and then we sold off. These are the type of things that can help you out so much, and that's why I try to teach this stuff. And people, guys, you need to trade the way that I've done this. I traded in basically play money or virtual money for quite a while, and then I went into micro trading, which I'm still doing right now, just smaller positions. Even guys play $500 positions or $1,000 positions and just see if you're right and mark it down in your journal and just continue on. You don't want to play massive positions in the most volatile space in the world when you're just getting into trading. That's one of the biggest mistakes you can do. So really do that virtual trading. It can really help you out, guys. But right now, we're still in that short-term downtrend, and we need to hold that $8,500. That's what I'm going to be looking for, and we need to start getting over top of that $9,000. That's going to be what's important for me. So that's Bitcoin, guys. If you get some from that, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Like I said, the last video we did, we got over 4,000 views. You all were putting comments. We almost had 400 thumbs up. So that really helped. And if you guys could do that, I greatly appreciate it if you get some from this. Like I said, I'm not a wizard, guys. I'm always going to try to do the best I can by looking at the technicals. This is an extremely manipulated market. We have to be aware of that. And it moved so fast. It's one of the most volatile markets in the entire world. So, always keep that in mind when you're doing this, and always use stop losses. That's one of the best things that I can tell you. But leave it down low, even if it's an exclamation point, just a number, letter, anything. It really helps out, and I'll get back to you. So that's Bitcoin there, guys. For me, it's just same deal. The patient will be rewarded. I'm going to look for a great long opportunity when I see it. I'm not there yet. Could we get some massive manipulation that goes crazy? Absolutely. That's cryptocurrency, and then we'll reevaluate everything. But right now, in the short term, the trend is down, and we have to be aware of that. So next, we're going to move into Litecoin. Litecoin's at $46.58 right now, and it's actually losing a key support that we wanted to hold. And remember, this on the 4-hour time frame. So this area here at about 46.50 that we broke up through right to here when we got to $51. That was extremely important. We back tested, we held it as support, we tried again, we failed, we came back, and now we have not been able to hold it as support. So we need to get up above 46.62 and close up above that. If we don't close up above that, I'm going to be looking down, for me, most likely around that 200-day moving average on the 4-hour time frame, which would be about $43.41. I feel like we most likely would probably get a bounce off that. We've been trading up above it since about April 6th. So I do think that could be an area, but it all depends on what Bitcoin's going to do, guys. That's the thing. Bitcoin is the one who's in control. It's just like the Dow Jones in the market. If the Dow Jones is going down, you're not going to pick an individual stock to try to go long in, because it's most likely going to be bringing the whole market down with it. These are the things we have to pay attention to. And also with how correlated we've been with the stock market. If we look at the Dow Jones right now, it's down 333 points, and Bitcoin and Litecoin and all these are also down. So as much as we don't want to talk about, we are correlated with the stock market pretty good right now. So we need this to continue. We need to stay up above that 200 and also this white trend line, which I'm going to extend. If we start having trend line breaks down through here, guys, then it could get a little bit uglier. But I do like the fact that we have many support levels. We didn't just have one straight shot. We were building support, resistance, and really making our way up there. But I would look at this white trend line, then this 200 moving average. That's going to be at about $43.41. RSI on the 4-hour time frame right now is at 46. To me, this is still just a no trade zone. We've topped out a couple times over here around $50, and we haven't broke it yet. So a lot of guys would probably be waiting until we actually break the $51. Then they'd try to play this move with potential up to about $57 up to that $63. That's the way that I would at least look at it right now, unless I see a great opportunity off this trend line. I'm seeing something, but I'm not yet. So guys, that's Litecoin. I just want to do a quick one on Litecoin there. Not a ton has changed. Just really look at that $46 right here, $46.69. We don't want to start dropping back below that. So we need to have a candle close up above that today. And you can see the heavier volume is to the downside. Always be aware of that, guys. Right now, short term, we're in that downtrend, okay? And remember, all trends work, short term, intermediate, and then it's that longer term trend. That's how these things go. So that's Litecoin. Next, we're going to look at Ethereum. If you like me covering Litecoin, guys, part of that Litecoin family, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We'll get into Ethereum. I know a lot of people were saying they want to look at ETH, so we'll definitely keep this one in here. So for Ethereum now, and this is something we got to be aware of now, you can see this yellow trend line here. We're starting to actually break down through it on the 4-hour time frame. If we do not hold that, because this $205 area was a really important area for us, we got up above it here and we made it all the way to $228, but we didn't have the strength to continue this to get up to that $247. So it was important that we held that 205 as support, and we haven't done that yet. Remember, this on the 4-hour time frame. We would be waiting on the 1-day time frame for a trend line break of 3 to 5% is what you would be looking for. And if we go out to the 1-day here for Ethereum and just take a look at this. So for Ethereum, it's been in a little bit better shape. We're still up above our 20 EMA. We're up above our 200, and we're up above our 50. Our volatility stop, if you're in on the 1-day time frame, that's what you're looking at a little longer term. They have you at $188.76 would be the area that they have there. But same deal up here. A lot of fight, a lot of indecision candles right up in this area. Now, the selling wasn't near as much. We didn't have as heavy volume as we did in some of the other coins here for Ethereum, so we're going to have to wait and see. But this is still an area that we're looking at here. If we even move this trend line a little bit on the 1-day, we have 3 touches there. If we start breaking down through this, I'm going to look at $174, and it'd also be around that 200 moving average at $173.54. But what I like to look at too is a reverse fib on this. If we take our Fibonacci and we go from the top here and we go down to the bottom, we'll take a look. We broke up through that 0.618, so that was a big deal. That was $185, and that allowed us to come up here and run almost to that $225. But we have wicked up to that 0.786 right there, that Fibonacci. So you can see how we go in reverse, guys. We took it from the top to the bottom because we're looking at this reactive move since we have not set a high over top of that 10,500 recently. But a lot of these areas, we wicked up to it and tested it, and we failed. So we have to be patient. If you're in a long-term position right now, guys, not financial advice, I would keep it going until you start really seeing those downward trend line breaks just to see what happens going into the halving. But if you're not in a position right now and you've already taken profit or whatnot, I would still be sitting back and waiting for a much better opportunity than what I'm seeing right now. I never want to buy the top of a market here. And you can see even on the MACD, we're starting to get that downward pressure, the histogram starting to tick to the negative. Remember, guys, when you're doing all this stuff for technical analysis, it's like being a detective. You're putting all the clues together and saying, okay, I'm seeing this convergence. And when I see this convergence, then I'm going to go long, or I'm going to go short, or I'm going to get out of my position. And that's the type of stuff that you're looking for. Even up in here, look at this daily candle, a bearish engulfing candle, a bearish engulfing candle. We topped up in here, and then we had this massive sell-off. These are the type of things that can greatly help you in the market. So that's what I'm looking at, just being patient, really pay attention to this trend line, guys, and see if we can hold $205 for Ethereum. If not, I'm going to be looking down around that $173. I think we definitely could back test that 200 moving average. That happens a lot. So that's Ethereum. You like that, guys? Let me know down low. Leave me a comment, and then we'll get into Digibyte. And you Digibyte guys, better show me some love down there, because everyone's been hounding me for Digibyte. So we're going to throw Digibyte in today. We'll take a look at it. I was looking earlier, I was trying to find basically the best chart for us with the most information. Because a lot of the charts, guys, what's tough about Digibyte, there was not a ton of volume. This is a lot of volume. I'm happy to see that coming in. But for the longest time, there was nothing here. And that's why you can't really do technical analysis when you're not having that volume. It's so important that we get that. But Digibyte has made a really strong move out of here. What we would want to see for Digibyte is for us to hold support, because this is a previous resistance of 0.01667 is going to be the area that we need to hold as support. If we can get up above that, then we look at that 0.03333. But the thing is here, just like we were talking about in candle evaluation, this is on the 1-day time frame here. You see this long white candle on heavy volume, and then we're getting into these doji candles here on heavy volume as well. Okay, so I wouldn't be shocked to have some type of pullback or retracement, even back to that 0.01264. It's all going to depend on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin wants to keep running to the upside, guys, I'm sure we're gonna. But this is something that's went straight up here on a lot of volume, so you need to be extremely careful in this, because a lot of times these will be those topping patterns at the top, and we started to actually catch a little bit of air away from this 20 EMA because it's ran so hard, so fast, and aggressively. That 20 EMA is going to be at 0.01256. It's going to be the area. But a lot of times you'll get that. You'll have these massive blasts, just like over here, a massive blast. We came back, we back tested the 50, and then we moved again. And this is how markets work, guys. They always need to breathe. They need to cool down. But this is massive volume that did come into Digibyte, and it's nice to see us back up above even a penny. It's so hard when you're trying to chart this stuff, guys, and it's like 0.00000, you know what I mean? Like, you just want something with a little bit of meat to it, and you want volume. That's the thing. You can get in trouble when you trade books that are extremely thin in terms of the volume, because the price can swing all over the place. You get one whale to push in, the price is, astronomical. Or if you have one whale that dumps, you get stuff like this, to where, you go from that 0.00509 all the way down to 0.00257. You can see that was just basically cut in half there. And that's the stuff that I'm looking at, guys. I want to save myself from those catastrophic loss and align myself with the trend. For Digibyte, though, the trend is still up right now, looking pretty good. Just be careful of this top here. We're also getting some wicks up here. I would not be surprised if in the days to come we start to retrace a little bit more if Bitcoin doesn't have some type of blast off. But, guys, those are the ones I wanted to do for you today. If you like me covering Digibyte, let me know down low. Smack that thumbs up button. I'm trying to find basically the best 3 to 4 that people really like for me to cover. Obviously, we can throw in some other ones if it gets crazy or whatnot, like a link or something that just blasts off. But I'm trying to just hone it down to like Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum for the most part, or maybe a Digibyte. We can maybe throw some XRP in there. Let me know if you'd rather see Digibyte or XRP. I want to hear what people have to say down there. So I really appreciate you guys being here with me. God bless you all. Hope this helps. Take care.